take a look at our playback information screen on the Canon Rebel XSi. Now, the deal is that you're going to see your picture in the center, of course, as soon as you press that little blue arrow in your playback mode, but we have 4 different modes of actually showing information about the way that the image was taken. And on this mode, as we press the display button just to the left of the eyepiece, you're going to see that you cycle through these different displays. First one we're going to see here is 1/60th of a second, f5.3, folder 100, and image number 2. I press it again, and it adds how many shots were taken out of how many on the disc itself. So it shows you this is number 2 out of 87. This one is one of the big information screens here. We see the white 100% parts of the image are starting to blink here, showing us where it has been fully exposed. On the top again we have 1/60th, f5.3, folder 100, image 2. But right under that is the all-important histogram. And this is telling us something very important right now. So let's take a look. Histogram really basically is the values of dark to light from left to right in the image. So we're seeing that most of the image is in this sort of middle to darker area, telling us that, gee, this image was underexposed just a bit. If it was normally exposed, this histogram would go all the way to this top line and have its little mountains and valleys, and you'd know that's where we want it. Right now I'd say, well, we need to dial in a little bit of exposure compensation in the plus mode. So here we go, ISO 400, there's the sensitivity that has nothing to do, again, with the way it was exposed. That's the general sensitivity of the camera. We're in program auto mode over here, my favorite mode. We're in the intelligent metering setup here, where it's judging all different areas of the image, and the image metering system in this camera is very accurate, so when you're using the multi-segment type of metering, it really is going to do a good job. The flash mode over here, which is normal flash mode. On the bottom again is our number 2 image out of 87. It is 2.44 megabytes in size, so it gives you an idea of the size of the image, and that's important to know sometimes. Even in the same resolution settings, the image size will vary due to the complexity of information in the picture itself, so you will see that number vary even at the same settings in the camera. Here's the date it was shot, the time it was shot, and our color space, sRGB, which is one of the major default color spaces. You probably leave it in that mode for the rest of time, unless you get called to go to a publication house and need to go to one of the other modes, like Adobe. Press it again, and we get pretty much the same information on the left over here, but we get the histogram broken out into its RGB components. That is the red, green, and blue, the primary colors used when mixed together to create the whole histogram on the bottom. It's moved the main histogram to the bottom, but here's the individual colors and the amount of information in that color that, when combined, make up the composite. So you would be able to see if there was a preponderance of red, green, or blue in the image. If I press the display again, bam, we're back up to the top. So those are your sort of 4 modes that you have for displaying information about any image you took, and you're going to make a decision on whether you want more information on the screen and see less of an image, or whether you want a bigger image and less information on the screen. Totally personal preference. I'd probably pick this setup so I know really the super pertinent information, yet I can see a big representation of the image. There we go.